Is there a perfect gacha game? That's what we're here today to discuss. I'm gonna ask you guys a genuine question. Is there a perfect gacha game? And if there is, I want you to take a moment here, go down into the comment section below and tell me what that is. If not, then tell me what you believe would comprise the perfect gacha game. What I'm gonna do is break down several different core facets of what I believe the perfect gacha game to be, and then tell you what gacha game is the best in each respective category. We're gonna start this off with the perfect casual gacha game. For me, that's Nikke. In Nikke, you can complete everything the game has to offer. You can do all of your dailies in 5 minutes. That's it. You can push through the story at your own pace without falling behind. There's nothing that is particularly competitive that requires you spend an arduous amount of time grinding every single day. You can, I don't know, spend 5 minutes per day playing it and then continue with the story once a month. That's what I do. This is a game that rewards you for playing for 5 minutes or 5 hours, making it the ideal casual gacha game. The perfect action gacha, to me, Wuthering Waves. It has the fastest, flashiest, arguably best action combat in the genre. I do not think there is another action gacha game out there that looks as good or plays as good as Wuwa does. The perfect idle gacha game, Eversoul. Eversoul is a game that you can just set and forget. This is a game that you literally don't need to play until you do. But much like Nikke, this is also a very casual friendly game, so you could just let the game idle, continue to accumulate resources every single day, and then once a week, push through content. Once a month, push through content. You're not really gonna fall behind. The best tactical gacha game, Arknights. Path to Nowhere is a close second, but Arknights. Arknights offers the most diverse, complex, tactical gameplay in the genre. I'd also say Girls Frontline 2 might be a contender for that, but Arknights is the complete package. It provides difficulty, it provides a lot of diversity in terms of game content, it requires thinking, which admittedly not a lot of gacha games do. The perfect gacha for narrative, Nikke, easily. There are tons of great gacha games out there with phenomenal stories, Guardian Tales, Path to Nowhere, Arknights, but none come remotely close to the narrative of Nikke. Nikke's is dark, it's messed up, it's fun, it's lighthearted and funny. There is so much depth and complexity to the narrative in Nikke that it literally plays like a AAA game. Well, the story is told from the perspective of a AAA game. The game plays very much like a gacha game. The perfect open world gacha game, Wuthering Waves, easily. There is no open world gacha game out there right now that offers the same level of exploration, the same methods of traversal, the same beauty, stunning environments, the same interactivity. Wuthering Waves took the Genshin formula and then revolutionized it. It did to Genshin what Genshin did to Breath of the Wild. This is by far the only open world gacha game that you need to play if you're a fan of the genre. The perfect hub-based gacha game, Zenless Zone Zero. I know there are plenty out there, trust me, and there are gonna be people that argue Punishing Grey Raven's better, Ether Gazer is better. I think Zenless is the best hub-based gacha game. The best world, best story, best graphics, best character models, best combat that any hub gacha game has to offer. Zenless takes every single category and emerges victorious at the top of the genre. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. The perfect turn-based gacha game is, without a doubt, Reverse 1999. And I know there are going to be some Hoyo fans out there that say, no, but Honkai's Star Rail is better. Reverse 1999 is the best turn-based gacha game, hands down. This game has an insane narrative. Top 3 out of all the gacha games I've ever played. phenomenal voice acting, incredible world setting, really good, very fun, very difficult and complex combat. This right here is an often overlooked game that more people should be playing. The perfect degenerate gacha game. That's honestly a tough one. I'd probably say Azur Lane. Azur Lane is the most degen gacha game out there. I think Nikke is the more recognizable one, has a larger audience, but Azur Lane's characters, oh my god, if you don't play Azur Lane, go like literally just go on over to their Twitter and take a look at some of their characters, take a look at some of their 3D skins or live 2D skins. They will blow your mind. They will introduce you to a world you didn't know existed. The perfect gacha shooter. There's literally only one, and that is Snowbreak. Unless you count Girls Frontline 2 as a shooter, but it's not. It's an XCOM game. So the best shooter is Snowbreak. The genre really does need more games like this, and there are multiple coming. Sunjing is one. I think that Do It Night Abyss is probably going to dethrone Snowbreak because it's third-person shooter. Is the style of third-person shooter that it's implementing is absolutely phenomenal, but Snowbreak, merely because there is no competition. The perfect hardcore gacha, Limbus Company. Without a doubt, Limbus Company. That game is fucking maniacal. Like, you don't know exactly how hardcore this game is until you play it. It is unreal and is arguably one of the cooler, more unique gacha games that I've played that you definitely need to try out. The perfect free-to-play gacha game. I'd have to say Azur Lane. I know there are people that are gonna say, you know, punishing Grey Raven. No, not at all. Azur Lane. The reason for that is you can attain every single character in-game without spending a cent. It's unbelievable. I don't know how they make any money. Well, I do. The skins. The skins are where they make all their money, which you can see by going over to their Twitter. But Azur Lane is by far the most free-to-play friendly gacha game out there. There's literally no competition. The perfect un-free-to-play friendly gacha game, probably Genshin Impact. Yeah, the fact that it costs you 90 pulls to hit your 50-50, 180 pulls to get a guaranteed character costing like $400, $500 for a character, and then the weapon banner, oh my god, it is horrible. But outside of the gacha, it is a really good game. Fantastic story, good voice acting, good combat, good graphics. So while its gacha is atrocious and is incredibly unfree-to-play friendly, it is still a very good game. The perfect gacha game for waifus. This is difficult. There are a lot of degen gacha games out there that are actually just not very good gacha games, and then there are some really good gacha games out there that have phenomenal waifus like Nikke, but I would have to argue Azur Lane. Azur Lane has the best waifus in the genre. There is no contesting that. They just do, which you'd know if you've played it or if you follow them on Twitter, because your feed gets spammed with it. The perfect gacha game for husbandos. There are a lot of gacha out there like Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves that actually have very attractive men, but none with more focus than Love in Deep Space. Admittedly, I have not played Love in Deep Space, but I have seen the husbandos and the weird shit you can do to them, so I mean, is there really anyone that's gonna argue this? And finally, the perfect gacha game to ignore, Tower Fantasy, because it's just really freaking bad and nobody plays it. Now, tallying the results, it looks like the perfect gacha game is in a surprising turn of events, well, there is no perfect gacha game because gacha games are very different, and at the end of the day, everyone likes different things about different gacha games. So the perfect gacha game is whatever you like the most. But for me, Nikke, Arknights, Wuthering Waves, Guardian Tales, Punishing Raven, these games typically tend to fit every single thing that I need and fulfill every single need that I have. And Girls Frontline 2 as well. They're the gacha games that I play regularly, which I'm gonna do an updated list talking about all the games that I play regularly. But for me, the perfect gacha game, since it doesn't actually exist, is a game that has beautiful graphics, a great world, really good combat. It doesn't matter what style it is. Good voice acting, that is free to play friendly, that has great lore, and just has a lot of content to consume. That's it. A gacha game that I can play casually or competitively, and it doesn't inhibit me from progressing. That's it. That's a perfect gacha game for me. Hey, where do you think you're going? I see what you're doing there. I see you navigating on over, scrolling on over to that X button. Don't you dare. What I need you to do is take a moment and click one of the videos that are about to appear as soon as I'm done talking. And trust me, you're gonna want it.